All glory, honor, and praise given to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rekar Kadash. Double honor to the elder apostles who rule well, the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well in teaching this 100% truth. Shalom and salutations to the whole free elect, beginning with the 144,000 and the rest of the men, women, and children of the elect. I'm your brother Magan Shalamar of the GMS Plain Tables Camp of Philly. The title of this video will be until the days of the Gentile be fulfilled. And we're in the time now where Esau time being the ruler on this earth is about to be over with. We're in them last days of Jacob. We're in Jacob's trouble, and we're waiting on the hour of temptation, which will be the micro C hip, which is the MOTB. So, we know this place is going to be destroyed. This place called Babylon the Great, America, is going to cover a lake of fire. And also that place over there in Israel today is going to become destroyed with the with fire from the ICBM missiles, as well as Yahweh Shah Mashiach when he returns with his angels and destroy the place. But the difference is America is never going to be inhabited again. But Israel is going to be, the land of Israel is going to be built back up. The whole Canaan area that was, the land of Canaan that was promised to our forefather, Abraham, is going to be rebuilt up, when Yahweh Shai sets his kingdom up, when he destroyed this place. So we're going to get right into the couple of videos I got. Fair use, not for monetary gain, but educational purpose only, fair use.
Ben Gvir says not only are they not going to leave Gaza, he imagines there being settlements all throughout Gaza. In other words, they're going to take over the whole thing and kick all Palestinians off their territory once and for all. Ben Gvir says not only are they not going to leave Gaza, he imagines there being settlements all throughout Gaza. In other words, they're going to take over the whole thing and kick all Palestinians off their territory once and for all. Ben Gvir says not.
So, the small hats, the Amalek, they have that land over there now. There's no peace in that land. They claim that they're the people of the Most High, that they are God's chosen people, but they are not. Because if they were back in if the real children of Israel was back in that land today, right now, then this whole earth would be at peace. There is no peace. That's why this video saying that they're going to continue to go to war with Hamas or whoever just to get more and more land. They're not at peace. That land over there is destroyed. These Edomites have polluted the land with bloodshed. So that land cries out for the coming of the Lord Yahweh Shai. As well as the elect cries out. That we hasten the day of the coming of the Lord, because we know when He comes, then we're gonna be good. We're gonna be in the kingdom, and I'm speaking not as a boasting, but if we are the elect, I pray that we're part of the hopeful elect, and that day is good. We're gonna be happy, But this is the time at the end, man, where the Lord is showing these, He's showing these signs on this earth that He's about ready to bring judgment, man. We see that this economy is crashing. They already telling you, like, within the next few months, there's going to be a lot of jobs going to be lost due to the AI, and they working on crashing this dollar. So at any time, man, any day now, we could wake up and the banks be gone. Because if you look up I did a video a while back where it's quietly kept, but banks are leaving. They taking their banks and going overseas. You know, like big banks like Bank of America. You can Google it and see these banks are been silently closing and going overseas. You know, since 2016. So it's happening, and we know that's going to be because of they're bringing in the digital currency. That's the whole goal, is to bring in digital currency. That the dollar is not going to is going to no longer matter. It's going to be about digital currency, which is going to lead up into that micro chip, which is the charagma, the mark that you're going to have to get that chip put into your skin with a syringe, and then that chip is going to contain a number that pertains to you, barcode number. It's going to be have your name on it, and inside that number is also going to have Esau's number. 666 is going to be inside that number. That number belongs to Esau. You're going to be a slave to the top banking families, the Edomites. That's what they want. They want to enslave the whole entire earth, but they're not going to get the elect. The elect is not going to take this. So we're watching this, knowing that the end is going to come, because we're about done with the time of the Gentiles being fulfilled, and it's almost over for for them to be brought down. These devils brought down.
Waiting for the outline of the sun like a diamond. This was the moment the world was waiting for. The outline of the sun like a diamond ring before being completely blocked out by the moon in Europe's first total solar eclipse in more than 25 years. The path of totality starting in Iceland, where Reykjavik plunged into darkness, then swooping into Spain, where 500,000 eclipse-chasing tourists gathered. This Olympic skateboarder pulling off a once-in-a-century trick against the low-hanging sun. In Paris, London, and in Rome, humanity's iconic monuments made small by the solar blackout. The view even more dazzling from 30,000 feet over the Earth. In the U.S., partially visible on the East Coast, in New York and Maine. And in a remarkable night in the skies worldwide, another phenomenon visible. The Perseids meteor shower. Back in Spain, we watched the eclipse outside the city of Valladolid, where Max Fulmer was celebrating his third birthday.
Birthday to you.
And then it came.
Perfect circle of blackness, and all around it, this just totally majestic corona of the sun. It looks like somebody has just punched a hole in the sky. It's really, really amazing. The light is coming up. You can see it on McKay's face here. Just totally enchanted.
It felt a little transformative, to be honest, just because it was just so beautiful.
A spectacle in the heavens bringing us together here on Earth.
And if you were thinking of travel...
So yeah, that's the Edomites, man. And that's what the Lord allowed them to see. And you saw, you heard all the countries that mostly saw it a couple of days ago was Rome, Spain, all those Edomite countries, man. Like all those governments where Esau rules this earth, and you can see it here on the East Coast of America. And I just bet you, I mean, I'm speaking as a man, but I know them top elites I know they was just praying, like, that sun did not come back from behind that moon, like it actually disappeared, because then they would have said, well, the Lord, he promised if the sun no longer gave its sunlight to the earth, then the Israelites have been done away with. But when they saw that sun come out, I bet you it's like, man, darn it, dang, the Israelites still his people, because that's the way they think. They're not gonna tell us. They're not gonna tell you. But them top hats, man, them scholars, they know that who the true Israelites are, man. So-called Negro, Latino, Native American Indian. And I don't know why Captain Tazariak of ISUPK didn't get it. Didn't he had the opportunity to say the people over here before the Edomites came were the tribe of Gad. The northern tribe was already here. He just went along with the other guys that they was dark skinned people. What the hell that's supposed to mean? You know, that black bullshit that they got coming out about the black people was here, the so-called black man was here before, uh, was the original man here. That's bullshit. Northern tribe was here. So ISUPK dropped the ball on that. You know, but you know, like I said, man, this is almost over. And these are the signs. Let's get right into it. Let's go to Luke chapter 21, verse 20. It says, and this is Yahweh Shai speaking. It says, and when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. And that took place, you know, when Yahweh Shai was telling them that was going to soon take place, and that took place in 69-70 A.D. when the Roman Empire besieged Jerusalem, because the northern tribe was already in Americas at that time. When Yahweh Shai came on earth, they was already here in Americas. Only the southern tribe was left in Jerusalem and was spread it amongst the Greeks. You know what I mean? The uncircumcised was mostly the southern tribe. They still had some northern tribe mixed in, but a majority of southern tribe: Judah, Levi, and Benjamin. Verse 21, and then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. You see, so this was during that time the Lord was telling them, y'all gonna have to flee, you know, flee into the mountains, because not only did Jerusalem go into West Africa, but they fled all over the mountain. They went to Russia area. They went to Europe. They ran into Europe. Jake ran into Europe, over in Russia, Asia, western part of Asia, you know, and then they also ran into West Africa. It says for these, and that's how, you know, that's why we say that, because that's how Jake is spread amongst all four corners of this world, man. We're like the sand of the sea, like the stars in heaven. Jake is amongst the other nations, you know. It says, for these be the days of vengeance, that all these things which are written may be fulfilled. It's the Lord's vengeance, man, that he had told us about, because we had broken our promise to Yahweh, breaking his law, statutes, and commandment, you know. So this was our judgment, and we're still, well, this is what we're living here in Americas, and both tribes are here in Americas, and we're scattered. We don't lost our land. We never got our land back from that point. When he telling us, when that took place, 69-70, we never set foot over in Jerusalem again. The scripture says Yahweh Shai is going to bring us back into that land, and he's going to bring all the Gentiles, going to bring and be tributes and bring us our wealth back, all the gold that they got, all the silver, everything, man. They're gonna be marching and bringing that shit right back to us, you know. It says, verse 23, but woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be a great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. Right? Because if you had imagine if one of the sisters was just giving birth, you know, and the baby crying, you trying to hide from the Roman persecution, and the baby crying. That's why they was taking the babies, and she would jump off the cliff with the babies. They was taking the babies and smashing them against rock to the stone, throwing them over cliffs. They did horrible things to the Israelites, man. Horrible things, You know, that would be a horrible time. You trying to breastfeed and you hungry. You ain't got your, you know, she ain't making no milk because she hadn't eaten 3 days or 4 days. The baby crying, just distress, giving away the hiding place. You know, verse 24, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captives unto all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. You see, and we were, you know, we were trodden down by the sword. The northern tribe was fell by the sword over here. They was conquered over here by Esau. We was conquered over there. Wherever we went, we was conquered and captive and sold into slavery amongst all the nations. You know, and the northern tribe, when the Spaniards came over here, they was taking the northern tribe slaves back over to Spain. You know, we caught hell as a tribe, man, and I'm sick of Judah over here trying to hog up the salvation, and they don't even call on the name of the Heavenly Father Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. The way Captain Tazari talking, like he didn't mention Northern Tribe. I don't know if they preaching Northern Tribe is part of the that is part of the 12 tribes chart. Like we are, man. We're God's chosen people, man. It's Judah and Ephraim. Judah is the head of the southern tribe, and Ephraim, so-called Puerto Ricans, are the head of the northern tribe. Judah is so-called Negroes here in America. You know, the Lord said you're gonna join them sticks together, make one stick. He joined us together, man. We over here being oppressed together. The majority of the salvation, when Yahweh Shai comes, is gonna be out of America. You know. But we're scattered. The Lord's going to be gathering his elect up from all four corners of the world, man, in the chariot. You know? That chariot is big enough for all of us. It holds more than just Judah. You got Judah. You got them all the way from Judah all the way down to Issachar. You know? You got them all, 12 tribes. You know, and it says, verse 25, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. That's why, you know, I just played the other video just showing you a couple days ago what happened. It showed that the solar eclipse, you know, lunar eclipse, with the moon, you know, blocking the sun for them Edomites to see, you know, like these are the times, man. Then they show something like they said it was a comet or something coming through the sky the same night. Those are all signs, man, that this is Esau's kingdom is near up. You know, Yahweh Shai just waiting on the word. He just waiting. And the Lord's going to give it to him after this devil bring out the RFID chip. It said the sea and the waves roaring, men's heart failing them for fear. Yeah, because it's also talking about them ICBM missiles. You know, when them ICBM missiles come down, listen, people going to be having heart attacks just seeing what's happening. It says, I'm looking for after those things which are coming on the earth. Yeah, them ICBM missiles coming from Russia, China, you know, all their allies. And I'm talking about here in Babylon the Great. I'm talking about spiritual Egypt. You know, this place is going to become a lake of fire, man. From the nuclear wind, thermonuclear destruction. And people are going to be having heart attacks just seeing this, you know. It says, men's heart failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Yeah, because the Lord said he's going to have his spirit, Yahweh's going to have his spirit in the missiles. They're going to hit exactly where they're supposed to hit. And guess what? That's coming for that's the Lord's judgment. That's part of his judgment that Esau haven't paid for, man. You know, this Esau judgment, and for you wicked ass Jakes out there, 2/3 of you gonna be put to death because you want to hold hand with this devil. You got too much pride to say, you know what? That Baptist bullshit my mom had me growing up into ain't it. But you know, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, so-called black man, you know, black men, you know, angels, when they coming to save us, man, his people, they ain't coming for everybody. You know, we're the ones who need to be saved from our enemies. They too proud, man. Oh, my mama, man, I grew up as a Baptist. I been eating pork all my life. I love my crabs. I ain't getting rid of. Come on, man. You gonna die for that shit? Okay. Well, you're gonna eat this missile. You know. Verse 27. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. See, so Yahweh Shah is coming in the midst of that third world war. You know, he's coming in the midst of that. You're gonna see when he cracked that sky. Ezra said he couldn't see the beginning or the end of it, man. It was so big. He referred to it like compared it to a mountain, but it wasn't a mountain because he said I couldn't tell you what place it came out of. Like, where did this thing come from? And it's floating in the air. You couldn't see the beginning or the end. That's how huge Yahweh Shah's fathership is going to be, man. That's how huge this shit. Coming with 1,000, 200,000 of other ships in those chariots. But he's going to be in that big one. You see? And people's heart's going to be melting, like me having a heart attack seeing that. You know? It said, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Right. Praise Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Call Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. You know? Look up. Yes. You know? We're going to be scared because, I mean, that's going to be, you know, I can imagine. But we know that's our redemption right there. That's our help. We got to get up out of here before the missiles hit. That's how quick Yahweh Shah is going to beam us up in them chariots, man. Then the missiles going to be hitting at the same time. Boom, 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 boom. Tearing this place up, man. So let Esau enjoy himself over there. You know, let him keep thinking that he's going to continue fighting and taking over the land and getting his land, his Hamas and the Strait and all of that, the Gaza Strip. All of that is rubbish. But guess what? They're going to be going into, you know, into captivity. So that's what we pray. That's what we're praying for, man. You know. So with that, I pray you edify, call Allah, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah Ba'Shem B'Kar HaKadosh. I give double honor to the elder apostle of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom.